It's been almost 11 years since the original FNAF was released, and our very own self-proclaimed FNAF expert, Jaden, hasn't beaten it yet. Today, that changes. Or does it?
We're going to go through the entire game. We're going to play nights 1 through 5. We're going to talk about how the game works, the little lore for the game, and how it's personally affected me over the years. That sound bad, I know.
But there's really nothing to worry about.
When is it? When is the quirky line?
Oh,
there it is.
Quirky at night, but do I blame them?
No.
We need to show them a little respect, right? Okay.
Just want to check that Pirate's Cove cam real quick, because if you don't check the cams enough in Night 1, Foxy can kill you. Very rarely, though.
They used to be allowed to walk around during the day, too. But then there was the bite of 87.
The bite!
Yeah. It's amazing that the human body can live without the frontal lobe, you know? But hey, first station of the breeze. I'll chat with you tomorrow. Check those cameras, and remember to close the doors only if absolutely necessary.
Aye aye, Capitano!
Alright, good night.
Alright, now we're in the shit chat. But this game has been so impactful on me as a person. Let's talk a bit about when I discovered FNAF. It was sometime very shortly after this game released. My brother recommended that I check it out. So I was about 7 years old when it came out. When I watched Markiplier play through this game for the first time, I watched maybe one episode before I was too scared to continue watching any more of it. And I was starting to have these nightmares every night about Five Nights at Freddy's, and I didn't even watch through Markiplier's whole series. Maybe I did, I don't remember, but I don't think I would have. But I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and you know, a little bit of light would be coming through the window, and it would hit the little closet door handles. And so the closet door handles would have a little shimmer to them, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Freddy's eyes, it's fucking Freddy Fazbear, it's Freddy's eyes, he's staring at me. That actually caused my brother to get in a good amount of trouble, where, you know, I started complaining to my parents like every other night about my nightmares, like, Mom, I threw up kind of style. And so eventually they asked me, what's scaring you so much? What's scaring you so much? And I told them, it's Five Nights at Freddy's, Mom. Five Nights at Freddy's is scaring me. And they're like, what the fuck is Five Nights at Freddy's? And I told them that my brother, Grant, showed me FNAF. And they let him have it. They genuinely let him have it. They were like, why would you show this to them? You're scaring the living shit out of her. It's like, no, not his fault. It was 2014 and FNAF broke the internet. I would have found it one way or another. But I think it was a few months before I ever tried tackling watching any FNAF again, and I loved it. After I got over my little baby FNAF phase where it was giving me nightmares, I loved this shit so much, and I was keeping up with the games all the way up till FNAF 4. And I want to say FNAF 4 was 2015, end of 2015, I think. It was around Christmas, I think, of 2015. And you know, that's when I started, like, playing online games with all my friends and stuff. So, like, watching FNAF, it was like you were a little nerd. You were a little nerd for watching FNAF. And so I stopped watching it. So, like, FNAF World On, I didn't keep up with until a couple years later when my interest, when it piqued my interest again. I think at the release of Help Wanted. And so I picked it back up again, and was loving it. I loved Pizza Sim. Thought FNAF World was a little weird. and Help Wanted was amazing. That is the very bad thing about FNAF, is that tabbing out of the first game is just fucking catastrophic. But, after eventually coming back around to FNAF, it took me a while, but I came back around to really love FNAF World. My tier list is weird. I'd say Security Breach is my favorite, then it's Pizza Sim, and probably FNAF World.
Anyway,
Because
I'm
I'm
sure you
kitchen.
got everything under control. Talk to you soon.
Nice, okay. So, the little pots and pans clanging, if you don't know, means Chica's in the kitchen, which means she cannot be at the door. I do not have to check Chica's door light when the pots and pans are going, because she is in that kitchen. So, we keep flipping up the camera here to take a look at Foxy. As long as you're looking at Foxy on the camera, Foxy cannot move. Oh my god, I fucked again. Am I dead? Nope. Alright, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're gonna have some fucking incidents of me tabbing out on accident. That's a fucking shame. I think one of the things that FNAF really had an impact on me for was it really got me into the whole YouTube sphere more than I already was. I was kind of, you know, I was sitting around watching, you know, as a fucking...
Bonnie. But first, to understand Bonnie, you should also understand movement opportunities. All of the main animatronics, excluding Golden Freddy, rely on a system called movement opportunities to navigate the map towards killing the player. Every 4.97 seconds, Bonnie has a movement opportunity and will essentially roll a d20 to see if he'll move. If Bonnie rolls his AI level or lower, he will move. If he rolls higher, he'll stay in place. For example, if Bonnie's AI level is 12, he'll have to roll a 12 or lower to be able to move. Specifically during the max mode later, any number Bonnie rolls at AI level 20 means he'll succeed in move, so he'll always move about every 5 seconds. Chica's movement opportunities work just about the same. But back to Bonnie's specific details. On the screen, you'll see a chart of every movement Bonnie can make from every camera. The one important thing to take away from this chart is that Bonnie's movements aren't consistent. The only consistent movement he makes is that he always returns to the party room after being successfully fended off.
It was just like live streaming from a PlayStation and having it auto upload to YouTube pretty much, which was not good quality and had 0 edits. So like we were a group of like 12-year-olds just fucking screaming into our microphones essentially and just uploading it to YouTube, and it never did well. It was never gonna do well, but it is an important stepping stone in what's gotten me here. It got the ball rolling on my repeated attempts to create content, right? So because of those shitty old, you know, content attempts, I've come back to this multiple times and have made increasingly more quality content. It's just trial and error over and over again until you figure it out. That's just kind of how content is. Now, mind you, there's some things you can do that will boost your speed and how quickly you take off on social medias, right? But there's nothing really as good as just trial and error over like a decade, which is pretty much how long I've been doing this. Oh my god, our second visitor of the entire night. Night 2 is so slow, but like I'm getting all the yapping out of the way now because like night 4 onward, we're gonna be lightly locked in. For nights 5, 6, and then the max mode will be fully locked in. We are at 5 a.m. We're like, I think a quarter or halfway through 5 a.m. with 27 power. We're vibing. Even if Scott did not intend to make rhythm games, he's made a franchise of rhythm games. I'm also like really looking to get another Defend the Office game. I think we could really do with another Defend the Office. Nice. Alright, on to night 3, chat. I guess during this night we can talk a little bit about the very small amount of lore that the first game has.
Okay, I'll leave you to it.
Thanks, phone guy.
On the flip side,
I'll see you on the flip side, phone guy. This game's lore started very slim. There wasn't very much. So we'll talk about what lore is in-game for FNAF 1. And the only real lore that is in-game for FNAF 1 is a few posters that change. Should tell you a little synopsis story of what happened here. And that's really some of the most clear lore we've ever gotten. However, it's also some of the most confusing lore we've ever gotten in the long run. The posters claim that a man dressed up in one of the mascot costumes lured 5 children into the back room and killed them. The authorities, however, never found any evidence of this and kind of just assumed that they were murdered. They never found the children, the MCI, the missing children. The interesting thing that that poster claims is that the suspect behind the murders was prosecuted. However, we know now as a fact that William Afton was responsible for the MCI, and William Afton is our big bad murdery guy. And it's never clarified if he was ever imprisoned. So it leaves a really weird plot hole in the story where it says a suspect was apprehended, but there's no evidence of William Afton ever going to prison. Huh? Okay. Sure. We'll keep that camera there just in case. It created a really weird loophole. And really shows that, you know, there was no plan for this game franchise. There was no plan for the lore in the first game. There was some lore. You have, you know, the newspaper clipping of the MCI, and you have, you know, Golden Freddy, and all that stuff. But there was really nothing further than that. Chica's gonna move to the door here in a second. Yep. What do you mean? I was right on that! Hello? I literally fucking pressed the button right as I heard the footsteps in. Hello? Okay, buddy. Okay, bucko, pal, sport. It's gonna be interesting how we handle the max mode, because I know the max mode strategy for now, but I don't really know how well we're gonna deal with it. Another major thing that this game introduces is the Bite of 87. And we never really get any confirmation on the Bite of 87 until the week before Five Nights at Freddy's book that just came out recently. We'll talk about a week before, or the week before, really shortly. I don't know much about the week before, but the week before is an example of how sometimes FNAF handles retroactive storytelling really well, and I think a week before is a really good example of that, where they can go back and tell the stories as they happened without just giving it to us. But we learned the name of Phone Guy, we learned the victim of the Bite of 87, and it was, I think, heavily implied that it was Mangle or Foxy that committed the Bite of 87. Our buddy Freddy decides to pay a visit, which I don't think he will. I think Chica's already left, never mind. Bonnie's gonna be coming then. There's our boy Bonnie. Got a bit jumpy there for a second. Is in fact not there. 8%, but we're about to beat the night, so it's not that big of a deal. A little close there. We had some close calls with Chica just kind of camping the door. Or not Chica, it was Bonnie. It was Bonnie. Just sat there for like a whole minute. Nice. What is happening? Why am I getting spammed? Hello? Ah, I see. Everybody's still home. Foxy is peeking. Fuck. That was bad. That was bad. I gave Foxy too much leeway.
tomorrow. It's been a bad night.
Holy shit!
I'm kind of glad that I recorded my messages for you.
Foxy is fucking ready to fly. Got the jets on. Holy shit. Camera here in a minute. Oh, fuck me. That might kill me, chat. That might kill me. Foxy's not gone. Okay. But it seems that the AI levels were pretty high at the beginning of the night, but have calmed down towards the end, or calmed down towards the middle. Freddy is officially in play. Okay. So, if you don't know what Freddy does, Freddy is...
Okay. I'm gonna stop Jaden as she's sharing a bit of misinformation here, and instead I'll give you the proper rundown on Freddy. Freddy starts on the main stage like the other 3 animatronics, however stays on the stage until night 3 where his AI is finally active. Upon moving, Freddy will let out a hearty laugh. This makes his movements quite easy to track. Unlike the other animatronics, Freddy's movement path is not random, but predetermined in the code. Freddy will move from the stage to the party room, from the party room to the bathroom, from the bathroom to the kitchen, from the kitchen to the East Hall, and finally, from the East Hall to the East Hall corner. When in the East Hall corner, Freddy will await an opportunity to jump into your office and kill you. You give him this opportunity whenever you are in the cameras not looking at the East Hall corner. However, when your right-hand door is closed, Freddy, just like the other animatronics, cannot enter your office and kill you. This presents 2 strategies: the safe strategy of closing the right door every time you check on Foxy, and the risky strategy of keeping your cam on the East Hall corner to cam stall Freddy. This strategy, however, is a touch more luck-based since you have no idea what state Foxy is in.
As long as you are looking at Freddy when your camera opens and when your camera closes, you will be A-okay. 5 a.m., 14% or so power. Not great. The original strategy, and I think the intended strategy for facing Freddy was to close your right door every time you needed to open the camera. However, that simply drains too much power. Just drains too much power. Instead, we found the lovely camera stalling method. I'm just going to sit here and let power drain on its own. And hope that Foxy doesn't kill me. We're just going to close that door just in case. Okay, and now we're just kind of praying that Freddy has a long enough song that we win. If he doesn't, and we'll have to play a bit better next time. He's taking forever to start, which is really good. Nice, there we go. On to night 5. Night 5 is when it gets real chat. And then night 6 isn't much harder than night 5, and then the max mode is just, kinda luck, kinda not. I'm gonna let this go for a second. Trying to make 2 a.m. before we... There we go. I didn't want 2 a.m. to come at much lower power than that. Hope we get that nice 3 a.m. before. Freddy is in the corner now. We get that nice 3 a.m. before we go under 50% power. Please give me that 3 a.m. Please give me that 3 a.m. Yeah, nice. We are on pace. We are on pace, chat. Hearing a lot of footsteps. I'm getting nervous. Yep. Under 40 power. I'd like to see a 4 a.m. here any second. If Bonnie would be so gracious to fuck right off. Go home, Bonnie. Okay, we got that 4 a.m. I was looking for, but Bonnie's still here. Okay, Bonnie's gone. Thank you for not being a dick. Much appreciated. Okay, you're back, asshole. Okay, Bonnie's back for another visit. Okay, Chica has left the corner. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. 5 a.m., 15% power isn't the worst. Not the best either. Chica's in the kitchen. Bless. Oh, we're gonna let this ride. I don't think Foxy can come get us. Yeah, we still have like 15 seconds, even if Foxy dashed in now. Yeah, we're good. Hopefully the clock should tick over. Yeah, there we go. Nice. And no, you do not, Aurora. You do not need to give me any money. Woo! Almost one-shot it. Almost one-shot it. We're gonna go ahead and probably fly through night 6 as well. Hopefully, we're gonna fly through night 6. Might be in. Freddy's not in the corner yet. Oh! Well, we're being assholes. Somebody left. You left. Thank you. You left as well? Good, good, good. Like to see a 2 a.m. here in a second. Okay. Bonnie left. Please, 2 a.m. Really like a 2 a.m. Cheese. That's a good occasion. Every time how nice your voice is, what a freak, man. You have told me a bunch of times when I was making videos, and I fear I'm never gonna hear the end of it anymore because I'm gonna start making videos again. I'd like to see 3 a.m. hopefully by... Fucker, okay. I think I just fucked up as well. Freddy might come in. You can play a little slower for a second here. I'd like to see a 4 a.m. any second here. I'd love a 4 a.m. any second now, chat. I'd love a 4 a.m. any second. Nice, okay, we got a 4 a.m. there. Problem is, we're not going to be able to let this ride because Foxy's going to be an asshole and we can't stall out power. Can't exactly slow down or else Foxy's going to fly down that fucking corridor. 5 a.m. Okay, 5 a.m. 9%. It's doable. It's not likely, though. You just need to hope for the best. That's not good. That is not good. Okay, we're gonna let that ride now. We're gonna let that ride now. Do you have a donut notification? I don't think so. Not yet. Not yet. I set up the donuts last night. I do not have a notification yet. I swear to God. Freddy better give a long song. He better give a long fucking song. That was not very... That was pretty early. Uh-oh. That's not great. Fuck. We must have been a few seconds off. We must have been a few seconds off winning. Motherfucker. Alright. We crack at this again. We crack at this until we get it. Likely have you open when you're streaming. Just it's really nice listening to your voice. Thank you. Well, that's not great. That's not great, chat. We were doing really good. We were doing really good until we weren't. Well, shit. Got this? I don't think we do, but I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we do not, in fact, got this. Why did my power just go out at 4%?
After taking a look back at the footage, there's an explanation for what happened here. First, however, we need to understand how Foxy's power drain mechanic works. The first time Foxy bangs on your office door, he will graciously only take 1% of your power. However, on every subsequent door knock, he'll take an extra 5% of your power. So 1%, then 6%, then 11%, and so on. Jaden was sitting on 4% power, and Foxy had already knocked on the door once. So essentially, Foxy banged on the door, taking the remainder of her power, which then cut off the door knocking sound, sending her straight into the blackout phase.
Chica left. Bonnie left. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Foxy. Foxy's being an asshole. That was a really chunky hit. That took a lot of power. We let it ride as long as it will go. I don't think we're making it this time either, chat. I don't think so. Kick Freddy in the face. I wish I could. Please. 6 a.m. Okay. Damn. This guy will not fuck off. We got a 5 a.m. Yippee! 15%, 14%, 5 a.m. Yippee! 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 Chicken. That could have been bad. That could have been really bad. Once we get to like, oh fuck. Okay, we can just let this go. Okay. Okay, be gracious. Be gracious. Freddy, please. Freddy. Be gracious. Be gracious. Be nice to me, Freddy. Please go easy. He's taking a while to start up, so that's good. Chica's in the kitchen. Hi, Marcy. Woo! 6 a.m. Hi, Marcy. How you doing? If you haven't followed, please give me a follow already. And you can do exclamation point Discord to see the Discord link and join the streaming Discord. Yippee, yippee, yippee! Oh. Yikes. Yikes. I gotta turn down the auto mod, bro. I gotta turn down the auto mod. I have to turn down that auto mod. Oh my god, we're here. We're finally here. Okay, well, let's start giving this a go. Let's start throwing our head at this. This is gonna be... We're gonna be here a while, chat. We're gonna be here a while, chat, or we're gonna get, like, really lucky. We're dealing with a robotic graveyard. That's great pay. Honestly, I'd expect more for this shit. Please moved once. Twice. 3 times. Freddy is in the corner now. Or not. Oh, okay. So, cam stalling Freddy doesn't work? Huh? Hello? I'll try it again. I'll try it again. What's the play? But if cam stalling doesn't work... It doesn't. Huh. Okay. What the fuck? We're gonna take a second. We're gonna take a second. And we're gonna see what the strategy is, because I was almost certain it was cam stalling Freddy. It seems that cam stalling Freddy is the strategy. It seems it is the strategy. However, I'm spending too long in the camera. I'm spending too long in the camera and looking at Foxy. So that gives Freddy enough time. So that strategy I was using before worked just fine for nights 1 through 6, but not for good old 2020. And it seems our plan is to just stall long enough that Foxy never comes, I guess. This is our strategy, I think. Check lights occasionally when you're hearing footsteps and stuff. Well. Okay, this is gonna take a bit. 6 hours a night. 6 times 6 is 36 hours. That's 36 hours, right? I'm not doing the math while I'm playing the 20 mode. I'd be fucking insane to do math during the 20 mode. Chica's in the corner.
Chica. It's probably a good time to talk about Chica. Like I said earlier when covering Bonnie, Chica moves just about the same. The main thing to keep in mind when thinking about Chica during the max mode is that Chica cannot show up in your door without first moving to the East Hall corner. This makes knowing when Chica is going to be in your door incredibly consistent. The only other thing with Chica is that when you can hear pots and pans clanging, you don't need to worry about where she is. The pots and pans sound effect means that she's physically in the kitchen and cannot attack you until you hear her next set of footsteps on the right.
Here. Math is good during the 20 mode. Do math? No, I'm okay. Reading chat's enough. The strat might be to just ignore Chica, because Chica might have to come through the, Chica might have to come to the corner before the door. So we might see Chica before anything, really. Doesn't mean I'm not concerned, though. Mobile Twitch audio is a hot mess. Ah, fuck. The screen is stuck for me, but audio is working. Oh boy. Try restarting the app, I guess. Yeah, so maybe Chica has to come to the corner before the door. And so we can see Chica coming and we don't have to... We don't have to worry about it, maybe? I'm gonna go under the assumption that Chica has to go to the corner before going to the door. Yeah, I'm gonna work under that assumption. If it proves otherwise, then we can start checking the Chica light as well. Okay. So now we have to be concerned about both. Yeah, just like that. Yep, like that. Okay, cool. It's gone. It's gone. I think that works for Chica. I think Chica has to go to the corner first. Or in fact, did not go to the door. Okay, so Chica has to go to the corner before the door, but does not always go to the door from the corner. It might be an entire game of luck as well at the end with this strategy. I tapped. Motherfucker. Maybe the fuck not, but I think Foxy's gonna fucking fly now. Oh yeah, or that. Or that. Chica left without going to the door. Motherfucker. Good. Chica's back. Okay. Chica's really consistent to deal with. It's Bonnie I'm worried about. Left the door closed way too long. Okay, Chica's back. Just the second she disappears from this, she can be at the door, yeah. So much easier if we could turn off the fan. Yeah, save some power. Turn that damn fan off. Does jamming happen faster on 420? Yeah, considerably. Considerably faster. So if you're wondering what I'm looking for when I'm flipping the camera, I'm looking for Freddy's eyes. I can see Freddy's eyes the frame the camera appears, so we can close really quickly. And if we don't see Freddy's eyes and we see Chica instead, we need to pay attention to the right-hand door. Just a little explanation if you're curious about what I'm looking for when I'm flipping the camera this fast. We're looking to see Freddy's eyes, static, or a bit of yellow. 4 a.m. That's actually good power for 4 a.m. 5 a.m. comes soon would be very cool. Would be very cool. Okay, Chica's coming back again. Chica didn't go to the door. Bless you, Chica. Okay, Chica's coming back. Okay, Chica didn't go to the door. 5 a.m. would be really cool. Thank you. Getting nervous, chat. Getting nervous, chat. Chica's back again. Oh, Foxy got me. Okay. Alright. No. Okay. It's all luck. It's all luck there. That's super shitty. Oh boy. It's all luck on whether Foxy's gonna fuck you or not. That's it. That's entirely it. Man. That's gonna be a bitch. So we've kind of got the strategy down for dealing with Foxy, Freddy, or Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica. But now it just comes down to luck if Foxy's gonna let us win or not. Which is a shame. I hate when things like this come down to luck like that. But it's all dependent on whether or not Foxy's gonna let us win. Chica's like already here. I hate when shit like this comes down to just utter chance. Like, that fucking sucks. We are having some big harness. We might have to come back to this then on another stream. If it's just luck, you know, it's just luck and playing well, then that's gonna be a bitch. Because bro at like 3% power just stops playing as well. So like, it's entirely up to if Foxy's gonna let you win. Because if Foxy's not gonna let you win, that's it. Like, we had it entirely except for the Foxy element, where, like, we were handling Chica and Bonnie really well. And we were good on power, too. So it was just the rogue element there. This is actually something I could see myself doing relatively well. Like, not really paying too much attention. I think, did we accidentally tab out that round as well? I don't remember. I know we accidentally tabbed out at some point during this. I don't know if it was last round or not, though. But if we tabbed out last round, that's probably why we died. Okay, Chica's coming. Spent too much time away from the camera. That might kill me. That might kill me. I think it was that one, but my memory's bad. Same. That's my issue, is my memory is bad, so I don't remember if it was that round or not. This is all going to start blurring together, attempts-wise. My desire is to beat every max mode for each game. That just might not be possible. Might just not be too doable. Chica is so easy. Bonnie is like the only one I'm worried about. I think I also have to put more cam flips between my light usage. Because using the light takes time that Foxy can advance. Right? Like, that was a lot of time that Foxy could have advanced. I think we'll be seeing a visit from Chica sometime soon. We're locked in. 52%. 52%. 3 a.m. That's good. We're gonna be seeing a visit from Chica soon. Chica just left the kitchen. I think the play might genuinely be to just wait until hearing footsteps to do literally anything on this left side. Chica's back in the kitchen. I didn't hear footsteps that time. Didn't go to the door. Still intermittent checks is good. I get distracted, but I am back. Welcome back, Mel. We're on to the 20 mode. And it's hell. It's in the kitchen. Nice. Welcome back, Mel. Nice to see you again. Man, who would have thought? It's less hell because of, like, really overwhelming or anything, or really difficult. It's more hell because, it's often left to chance. It's often left to chance at the very end. And so if we just don't get good RNG, we're kind of just fucked. It's all reliant on Foxy. It's the same way in 50-20 as well. It's just all reliant on Foxy. And painful little run so far. Yeah. It's just all up to Foxy at the end. And if we don't get the RNG, we don't get the RNG. It doesn't seem that power's going to be too much of an issue, though. It seems that it's mainly just going to be whether or not Foxy leaves us alone during that last, like, 12 or so seconds where we're kind of just praying and stalling out power. I have to use 10-20 mode. I've heard is notoriously bad. Although, what I will say about 10-20 is that at least 10-20 is less up to chance because you don't have to deal with power. It's more up to just can you find the time to wind that box. It's all up to that reaction time and can you find the time to wind the box, which is like considerably better than this. We'll see, though. I'm gonna try to go through all the games and do all the max modes. But, it's really bad. We might have to just not. This is about when Foxy killed me last time. All up to the Fox. Whether we win or not is up to the Fox. We've gotten further this time, though. That's something. So once we get to, like, 3% power, we should just let it ride. Hope for the best kind of thing. Pray for some generous animatronics at the end here. Okay, we're just gonna let it ride. We're just gonna let it ride and pray to God Foxy does not kill us. Oh my God, we're done! Oh! We didn't even need to go into power outage. Well then. Okay.
Well, would you look at that? Our FNAF expert just earned herself a new credential, and in under 10 tries, too. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if she'll be able to handle FNAF 2 even half as well. Until next time, please consider joining the Discord. The link is in the description.